Hello and welcome back to the channel. Ninja Turtle here, and I finally got off my lazy butt and made some time to make this video that's been should have come out maybe 2 weeks ago. Oh well, it's fine. I'm doing it. It's happening. I'm posting it today. So today's video is basically we're going to cover two topics. We're going to do first, we're going to cover some customs that are kind of small time modifications or just small customs that aren't like a full-on custom. Also just updates to previous customs that I've already done to make them look better, to change a few things. So we're just going to cover those. They don't really deserve their own video because I usually make long, really pretty much too long videos on all of my customs going over the details. These are just small changes that really would be a waste of time for me to make a whole video on. So that's why I'm going to put them all in one video. So some of these I've done recently, and some of these I did months ago that I just haven't shared with you here on YouTube yet. So we're going to just go ahead and cover and knock out a few of those. The second thing I'm going to do is later in the video, I'm going to talk about the future of this channel, future content, and so on. So if you're interested in that, make sure you stay tuned. But we have here our Armored Spider-Man, the Mark 1. And what did I do? I added a gloss finish to all of the metallic parts. It's going to be a little hard to pick all of that up on camera, just given the lighting and just also, you know, whether or not you can perceive glossiness on there. But I did add a gloss finish to all of the silver, all of the metallic parts. To me, honestly, it doesn't pop that much. Actually, it kind of looks better on camera than it does in real life, to be honest with you. But it doesn't pop all that much as I'd like for it to pop, as far as I want it to be see my face in it type of shiny. So what I used was just a clear coat, acrylic, gloss finish. Normally I would use Mod Podge, and I probably should have used Mod Podge gloss sealer, glue, whatever, because I did this 6-7 months ago. But I didn't. I wanted to try the other stuff out, and it worked out fine. But I think the gloss Mod Podge would have been shinier than this. I might actually repaint this whole thing, or just all of the silver, to give it a better, more popping type of steel color. And then one thing I wanted to do, which I was thinking about, is these eyes are not very dark black. They, again, kind of hard to pick up on camera, but they almost look like they are just barely painted whatsoever, maybe not painted at all. But I really want the black in his eyes to really be super glossy. I did put gloss on that as well. It just doesn't pop very much. So that might be one thing where I just repaint all of the silver and then repaint the eyes and then put gloss on all of that. But that's all I did. Nothing major there. Let's go to something a little bit more substantial. How about this one? We got Age of Apocalypse Rogue right here, and I've done two things with it. First, we're going to start at the bottom. I repainted these little gem bead things there, whatever, on her legs. They used to be red, and I made them pink and added a gloss finish to that, so they do shine a little bit compared to the rest of the figure. Yeah, that does pick up right there. So that's the one thing. And again, I'm using comic book references for that. I saw it more times pink than I saw it red, so I went and changed that. And then secondly, I gave her a cape. It's completely removable. It still uses the same neck piece that came with the figure on there and is glued onto this cape, which was orange before, so I believe it was a Hobgoblin cape. I don't know. I bought it from eBay a long ass time ago. It just has a lot. So I'm finally using it, and I just cut the front part of it off, as you can see there, and then you got that original piece that's kind of dangling there to connect it all. But primed and painted that green, and I went with green. I believe there's blue capes as well for this Age of Apocalypse Rogue, but for me, I think seeing with the pink beads there and the green cape is more how I saw her in comics. And again, it can be removed. I just don't have a replacement neck piece. Actually, I do have a whole nother robe downstairs, so I could say have this cape on if I wanted to do like pictures and stuff, and then take the cape off and still have the neck piece because I have an extra one. So that's that. And like I said, yeah, just going through all of this stuff because it doesn't need a whole video. But what does have a whole video is this Chun-Li. Happy Street Fighter 6, everyone. But this Alpha Chun-Li is, well, I already made it. There's a video on the channel for it, so if you haven't seen it, go check it out. But we're here because I accidentally, or I didn't know that she didn't have any stripes on the inside of her legs. So when I made that video, I painted the inside of her legs with yellow stripes. So recently, I took those stripes off and repainted her legs. So she looks a lot better now. Sure, it doesn't look all that great here, but in general, a lot better now without those stripes in the middle of her legs. So that is just a quick improvement I did there. All right, I'm back. Between my battery dying on the camera and there being several paramedics going past on my busy street here, it was a good time to stop. But we're going to get right back into it. Cable, again, another figure that I've already made a full video on. If this is your first time seeing it, go check the video out. But a small update. If you did watch that video, you knew I had some problems with the weapons, and in particular his lance, which I didn't grab because I actually didn't repaint it yet. But the hands were the weapons were sticking in the hands, and it was, once I pulled the weapon out, it pulled all of the paint off of his hand and off of the weapon. So on, and I actually left this gun in his hand in that review because I didn't want to mess it up right on camera. I had already messed up the lance. So later on, I did remove the gun off of his hand and out of his hand, and yes, it did totally mess up the gun a little bit. It wasn't that bad, but you can see maybe just like a little bit of the paint coming off. But you can see I did pull it out of his hands quite easily because I did have to repaint both of his hands. So they both are repainted, and I've updated my process, which now going forward, which I've been doing for the last couple of customs, I don't use Mod Podge. I still have Mod Podge all over this figure, but in his hands I don't have Mod Podge. It's just the same acrylic gloss finish that I put on the Spider-Man that was at the beginning of this video. I put that on the inside of his hands. That stuff is not glue, it's actually just paint, and it is not sticky. So I can put his weapon in his hands and take it in or put it in his hands in and out, and not have to worry about paint rub. Not too much, you know, it's not so bad. And that is part of the new process, basically, is less Mod Podge, because Mod Podge is glue. So that's why it was doing that, and that's why I don't want to use it anymore. So less Mod Podge and more acrylic clear coats, flat, matte, gloss, whatever it is. So that is the new process for me, and I'm using that all over the body. But in this case, he does have Mod Podge matte finish and all over his body, and Mod Podge gloss finish on his arm. But that's the old process. But that is all that I did there. Another update to an old custom, 02. I did this maybe like a year ago, and the only real thing, well, there's two things I did technically. One of the biggest things is that I repainted her hair. When I originally painted it, the only color pink that I had was hot pink. And I thought that was appropriate or fine, or would have looked okay on 02. And over the last year, I bought more paint of that brand and have a different variety of pinks now. I have pink, petal pink, and hot pink. And this one is, I believe, just regular pink. Either way, I repainted her hair so it's a lot lighter in color and a lot more accurate to the character, in which because I repainted her hair, I had to repaint her eyebrows because it's the same color. And to do that, I had to repaint her whole face. So I actually redid her whole face with the same flesh tone as I used before. I had messed up her eyes pretty badly the first time. They're still not great now. I think they're a little bit better than they were the first time around. But using that same paint for her hair, I used it on her eyebrows and also her lips. So she didn't have lipstick before or lip color before. I think it looks better now this way. So lip color. What else? And yeah, also before, again, old process, I put Mod Podge all over, there we go, all over the face, all over skin tone before, and I don't do that anymore. I put that clear coat flat finish on skin, so she doesn't have a shiny face anymore. She still has the same shiny hands though. I did not repaint those, but 02 looks a lot better now. Next up, what else we got? I got two more. All right, this is not a custom. This is actually just a mod. So I swapped out ugly ugly Susan Storm face and gave her pretty Susan Storm face, but you still use the same hair that came with this classic, the 90s Fantastic Four costume. So if you bought this in store or online or whatever and has a really nasty ugly face, it's super easy. You can just, the face of this one is from the black suited Susan Storm that was the Super Scroll wave. So that's what this face is, but with the hair that goes with this body. Super easy. It was a swap straight up, no additional modifications, no adjusting for size, no extra sculpt needed. It was just take the hair off of both of them, swap the heads, and glue them back together, and then that gives you this. I know a lot of people did that right away. I did this a couple months ago, maybe a few months after everyone else did it, just because I didn't have time to work on it. But yes, this looks significantly better than what Hasbro initially put together. So that I did that. And last but not least, this I did so long ago. I did this in January. Modified Domino finally. So biggest thing for Domino is that she usually has cleavage, but the Hasbro version did not give her anything respectable. So this is the same body mold as the Hasbro Domino, the exact same upper torso as well, but I used the Dremel and dremeled down all of the detail and just gave her extra chest and used epoxy sculpt to build up her cleavage, her cleavage. Repainted it, and I actually painted it again. I did this in January, but I wasn't using the clear coat like I was using before. So her skin was white, but I had gloss white paint, so her chest was super glossy, which I wasn't liking that. And I repainted it again a couple weeks ago, and also the paint, when I painted it on there, it was the first time I used the paint. It was super thick, so I thinned it out so it looks a lot nicer on her chest, a lot smoother, and then use the matte, the flat finish so that it's not shiny white on her chest. Several other things. Her gun is painted. This is the same purple gun that came with this figure, but it's painted a gunmetal black now. Added this is one of those figures that had two belts, a loose one and then the sculpted on belt. I took the loose belt off and then added this X symbol that came from Storm and just glued that on there. It does come with these like the shoulder strap things, but I had long since took it off of this figure and gave it to a Black Widow, so I ended up having to take this one off of a Lady Deadpool, so it was brown before, and repainted it and put it on here. So extra work. Same thing with this thigh strap thing as well. This is also from Lady Deadpool, because I long since gave all of that stuff to a different character. So there's that. And lastly, there is one more thing that is customized here, and that's her boots. I don't want to say customized, but changed would be a better way to put it. So we got Infinity War Black Widow We stole these from a different fodder piece. If I can get her to stand up. Come on, help us out here. You will. Anyway, Infinity War Black Widow. These are the same boots. So everything from the knee down, same wedges and stuff. I just swapped it and put it onto this Black Widow. Why? One, it looks a lot better. Two, secondly, because again, I had long since this was a fodder Black Widow. This is actually, or excuse me, Domino. This was a Domino that I foddered. This is the first one that I bought, like my own collection, and I had decided to fodder it because I knew I was going to make another Domino. So I took the legs, and those are the legs I used on my Magic figure, and that has a whole video, and I'm going to be remaking that anyway. But yes, those legs were already used, and then I had already used her arms, I think. Oh yeah, that's another thing. I completely forgot about her arms. These arms are bodysuit arms. They're from Emma Frost, so they actually are full on, not with the extra stuff that's on there from the original body mold. So yeah, these are the Emma Frost Walgreens arms that just removed a little bit of flesh tone paint there, and then these hands are fully gloved. They're from the Deadly Origins Black Widow, so the white costume one, and I just painted those black. Completely forgot about that. So this is a heavy mod, but still all of the thighs and the lower torso is all the same. Just added this little button there, and then gave her a chest, switched her arms, switched the lower legs, and Domino. This looks a lot better than what you originally get from Hasbro, in my opinion. So yeah, that will do it for customs and slight mods that I've been working on. Again, I did this in January, most of it, and just repainted it again recently, and now I'm finally sharing it on YouTube. I actually posted this on Instagram back in January, so yeah, make sure you're following me on Instagram and Twitter as well, and not just here on YouTube, because there's stuff that you don't get to see here on YouTube that I'll post on all those other socials. So that does it for the customizing part of this video. So I do want to real quick talk about the future of the channel. So let's do this. Let's see. All right, there we go. That is the veil being lifted, and nothing was ever the same again. All right, so here's a quick peek of what's going on behind all of the stuff here. That's my collection that you see. That's not all of it. There's more down there. There's more up there, over there. But any eagle eye, you can see that it is not up to snuff. You can see that it's pretty nasty. And there's a lot going on here. So one thing that's going to be happening over the course of the next couple months is basically I'm taking a break. This is the last video on the channel for a little while. That's what this update is about. I'm taking a break from making customs just for a little while. I've done this before. This is kind of a regular part of the channels that I need to balance out my nerdy creative stuff with actually enjoying some nerdy content. Namely video games mostly, and some movies and stuff too. But first things first, I need to clean this stuff up. You can see like Quicksilver down here is fallen, and Polaris, and the spider people are all messed up. I actually started cleaning this a year ago, and then I just never finished. So now I got to get back into resetting everybody up, re-cleaning up the shelf, getting all that dust out of there. And some of these figures are warped, like the legs are really warped. You can't see that there's an Emma Frost back there. Her legs, actually no, Black Queen back there, her legs are super bad, like they're really warped. I still don't understand how she's standing, but yeah. So I'll be working on cleaning all of this up and boxing some of this stuff up, particularly this shelf. These two shelves. So that's my Spider-Man Rogues Gallery. I'm going to be boxing that up because I'm really not going to have any more additions there. not too many more. And then this is just everyone from Marvel. I don't have a lot of additions there either. So what I'm going to be doing is boxing those two shelves up. I've already boxed several things. I have lots of figures that I don't even have displayed, like a whole lot of them that are in the box. But I'm going to use one of these shelves, probably this one or this one, to just have customs that I've done that don't have a home. Like my Domino goes here, my Rogue goes here, and so on. But other customs like my I don't know, like actually that Wasp that there, and the Captain Marvel, and any other customs that I've done that are just not gonna have a particular set place, I'll just put them all on one shelf, just so I don't want to box up my customs, just for reference, Secondly, this shelf, I'm probably gonna use it for either anime specifically, because this is kind of what this shelf is, but Evangelion needs its own shelf. Clearly, if you watch any of my Evangelion videos, I know I love it. So Evangelion needs its own shelf. Anime needs its own shelf. And then Persona 5 specifically is something I'm going to be doing. If you don't know, I absolutely love the hell out of Persona 5. It's my favorite game. I will be making customs for Persona 5, and I will be making a crap ton of them. So I need space for that, and I really don't even have it now. I might be sacrificing, this is my MCU shelf here, I might be sacking that shelf and boxing it up, because I do have an Infinity War and in-game shelf up there. Those are going to stay, but this is just generic MCU. I might be sacking that and putting Persona 5 on that shelf there. I haven't decided yet. All of this stuff over here is all X-Men villains, and then all the eras of X-Men with Spider-Man at the bottom. That is just like, I might do a full tour of this one day, but that's just the setup right now. But yeah, that is the most important thing going on, is that I'm going to be cleaning that stuff up over the course of the next couple of weeks. And then as far as gaming goes, I've already been on break, actually. As much as I say I'm going on break, I've been on break, and I've been playing myself some Fire Emblem Three Houses. I've owned this game for like 2 years, and I finally started playing it for the first time a couple weeks ago, so I'm in the middle of it now. I love it. It's fun. A whole lot of stuff going on, and I can't wait to finish it. I am not going to play the new game that's coming out later this month, because I have to finish this one first, and I have other priorities basically before I get back into Fire Emblem stuff. One of the other things I've had since day one, it's been a whole year since this game came out, and I just started the story mode for Guilty Gear Strive like last month. I have not really played much outside of practice mode for like 30 minutes, and then I just started the story modes last month. So I'm still in the middle of that, and I'm waiting for certain characters to pop in, and maybe I'll actually play it. Another game that I've had for a long time, it's since day one. It came out at the end of February or March or whatever. Horizon Forbidden West, still got the plastic on it. I might play it during this break time. I'm not sure. I really want to check it out. I've heard good things. I don't really have any spoilers at all, so I have no idea what happens in this game. But I have this. I also have Gran Turismo 7 that I've played for like an hour so far. So yeah, I have a lot to catch up on. King of Fighters, I'm going to be playing that. Pokemon, the Pokemon game that came out last year, Shining Pearl, or whichever one I bought. I played like half of it so far, so I need to mess around with that. And the big one, which is really going to determine when I come back and start making customs again, is a little game called Soul Hackers 2. It's supposed to come out sometime in August. I'm still not able to pre-order it as of this recording, which is very frustrating. But I don't know how long that game's going to take to play. I don't know if it's actually going to come out in August, but I really want to play it as soon as it comes out, instead of you know, just waiting around for free time. Like, I'm actually on the break now. I want to play that game, and I want to play it right away. So however long it takes, once I finish that game, then I want to come back, assuming it actually comes out in August. Other than that, there might be a chance that I pop back in and make a couple customs before that game comes out, just in case, or just maybe if I finish these other games really quickly, but I have no idea. That being said, that will do it for this channel for a little while. Like I said, it may take a few months before I make a new video. There's plenty of other videos to check out. Make sure you subscribe. I do thank you for joining me, and there will definitely be more content going up on this channel. I have so much fodder laying around. There will be more stuff. The next video I make will be when I come back, and it will go over the future actual content, what things I'm going to be making over the next couple of customs, but that's going to be a little while. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.